Hello, welcome back to another video. I don't know if this angle is going to be a bit funky, but we'll go with it. So this is an unboxing, well, unpackaging, as you can see, of a retro 90s skateboard. I was born in 1976, so I'm a 70s, but I'm an 80s kid. 80s and 90s were when, for me personally, when skateboarding was a big part of my life. We used to skateboard to school, we used to skateboard at the weekends, we used to skateboard. I lived in a place called Letchworth Garden City. And we used to skateboard pretty much every Saturday from Letchworth to Hitchin, which is probably, I don't know, 8 miles, maybe more. And we used to go down this big hill called, I think it's called Rose Garden Hill or Rose Hill or something. Massive hill, and then we'd obviously skate back on the way back. And we'd do that regularly, and it was like, we didn't think about it then, did we, as exercise? We loved it, and we was ollieing and jumping off curbs and all sorts. Anyway, so I'm 49 years old now, and I cannot skate like I used to be able to skate. I wish I could. I do get out every now and then. Just quickly take that out of view. So I've got a reissue Power Peralta Mike McGill. Love this deck. Absolutely love this. Got slammer wheels on it. They're really, the bearings on this thing are amazing. This thing spins beautifully. So there's the front. So yeah, reissue Power Peralta, but in the, you know, original 80s, 90s shape. Love that. So I do get out and about on that every now and then. Anyway, I saw this on eBay. You know, sometimes you're just bored. I went on eBay. I think I might have had a few beers actually as well. It was a Saturday night, so as you do. And when you pick this up, let's have a look at it. It might be no good, but it doesn't matter. I brought it for nostalgia reasons, really. I'll show you in a minute, but I've got a wall over there, which I've got a more modern skateboard on. But I'm thinking about maybe hanging some decks and stuff from that wall. So let's get into this unpackaging. Let's see how we get on. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you was a 80s, 90s skateboard fan. Just loved it. It was like that freedom, you know, and like I say, we didn't realise back then it was, you know, it was exercise, weren't it? But it wasn't, it was fun, right? So right, let's get this unwrapped. He's wrapped it well, that's for sure. I know that there is quite a bit of damage to it, but that's cool. You know, that kind of just adds to it, really, if I'm honest with you, because, you know, it's not about it being pristine, it's about it being from the 90s. You can smell it. Why is it things, right? Obviously, I know it's because it's old, but why is it that old things really smell like musty? Like when I buy used retro video games from the 80s, and that, they really stink. They really smell. Yeah, look at this, it's well knackered. So the trucks are rusty. So what I will do is I will give it a bit of an overhaul. As I said, I bought it knowing that, by the way. The seller was, you know, perfectly clear about it. There's no deception going on here. I bought this as a used retro board that I'm probably just gonna hang. Woo! So it's similar shape to the Mike McGill, as in the old school shape. So we've got a bit of damage going on here, look. It's delaminating, that's what they call it, isn't it? Yeah, it's coming away from this. You see it's sort of delaminating here. But there you go. Not bad, eh? Not bad. Dagger. Whereas wheels, compared to my wheels, look, watch this. It just stops. I think the bearings have, wow. I think the bearings have seen better days. Now they're cheap, shitty wheels, I think. I don't think they're anything. The trucks are not too bad. They still move. Sort of. Anyway, so there you go. That's an unpackaging. It's got cobwebs and everything. Got 3 cobwebs with it. So Dagger, yeah. Not bad, right? Not bad. So I'm going to have a clean up of it, and I think it's a cheap board. I don't think it was an expensive board. I think it's a generic 90s board that you probably would have been able to have brought in most shops, to be honest. But I'm going to give it a clean up. Anyway, done a quick unpackaging, unboxing. Hope you enjoyed. Catch you on the next video. Thank you.